What's up, all you crazy people out there? Want to talk to you guys today about worms in the fish tank. Now, many people may run into this. You may run into this problem. You get it while overfeeding. Just poor water conditions. A lot of waste in your water. You can develop these worms and different parasites. Now, there are many different types of worms. I'm sure if you had worms and you look them up, you'll find all these forums online. A lot of these guys don't know what they're talking about. First of all, identifying the worm that you have is really tough, because if you don't know what you're looking at and don't know what you're looking for, it's hard to know exactly what type of worm you have. Now, you may be right, you may be wrong. I'm not gonna, justify your what your answer is according to, in regards to what type of worm you have, but I'm gonna help you treat the problem. Now, I've never had worms on this tank. Knock on wood. I don't want worms in any of my tank. But I did recently have worms in the goldfish tank. Now, the problem is, like I said, so many different types, but I don't really care. What we want to do is treat the worms. Now, how did I get rid of my worms? Well, the one thing I can say that really always works is water changes and cleaning the tank. Now, I did almost I would say 60%, 65% water change. Now, that's a lot of water, but in a situation like this, it does call for it. Now, some of these worms may not be harmful to your fish, but honestly, I don't want any type of worm in my tank. It's just bad presentation. It looks horrible, and it just looks bad on your part, because you're the one that's supposed to be taking care of your tank, and you're not. So, what can you do to get rid of these worms? So, like I said, do water change. When my tank became infected with these worms and I noticed them, I got upset. So, quickly found some time. I did water change. I filled the tank up, and then I drained the water again. I did that process for about 3 times. The reason is, each time I just want to make sure that I really got down into my substrate, into my gravel, and just get all of that muck and leftover food and waste out of there. I want the tank to be completely spotless. So that's what I did. I cleaned everything. I cleaned the inside of the glass. I cleaned the gravel very, very thoroughly, and I did a major water change. I gotta say, the fish love it. Now, be careful when you do the water change. You don't want to stress the fish out too much. They may already be in a lot of stress if the worms are being parasitic and living on the bodies of the fish. So take into consideration all of these things. You know your tank. You know what's going on. So just be conscious of all the problems that can go wrong. But definitely a big water change. Now, always when I do water changes, I add some aquarium salt to put some electrolytes back in the water and improve the gill function of the fish. And I also add stress coat, just to give that slime coat layer, protective layer, back to the fish. And also, the stress coat removes some of the metals from the water. So, go ahead and do that. You want to do a water change. If the water changes aren't working, I would say add a heater into the tank, slowly and gradually, over maybe a few days. Get the temperature up. Get the temperature up in the tank, maybe 10 degrees above what you have it, and let it treat the water, and just let the water be at a high temperature for a little while. High temperatures should kill any parasites in the tank. But ultimately, I gotta say, sometimes the temperature doesn't work. chemicals and medications and water treatment doesn't work. But what does work is just a major water change. So do a water change, get your tank clean, and you should be fine. Now, if you do those things, I don't see you having a problem. Now, to keep the worms away, you definitely want to change a few things. Now, like I said, these worms come about because of, all of this waste in your tank and leftover food. So, if you have all of those things in your tank, it's a sign that you're overfeeding your fish. Now, you don't want to overfeed your fish. Now, if you're in a hurry, I would say don't feed your fish at that time, because people tend to just grab some food and throw it in the tank. Now, feed your fish when you do have time. Come home, open the tank, open the lid of the tank, and just slowly add food. Don't let there be any waste. If you're using flakes and you add one flake at a time, I don't see a problem. Don't overfeed your fish. You don't want all of that excess nutrients in your tank. It does no good, honestly. So don't overfeed, and I'm sure you won't have a problem with algae. Well, leaving that, that you don't leave the light on all the time, but excess nutrients in your tank, if you avoid that, you can avoid a lot of algae problems. You can avoid these parasites and these worms, and it's just much cleaner water for your fish to swim around in. So, the gas exchange in their gills will be much more easier. So you don't want to make life for your fish hard, because fish are not very strong animals when it comes to getting over diseases and parasites and stuff like this. So take care of the water, and your fish will be happy. I'm sure they're gonna love you for it. So do water changes, get rid of those worms, and keep them away. Make all the necessary changes and the bad habits. Let them go out the window, and I'm sure you won't run into the same problem twice. So if you guys have any more questions and concerns, just feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you. But good luck, guys, and I hope that you cure all of your problems, and I hope your fish are okay. So good luck for now, and see you soon. Bye.